No, Cathy. Hey. What? Hey. Hey. Look at Cathy. Cathy started.
The commissioner of the WNBA was recently caught on camera doing something that reportedly left NBA chief Adam Silver completely stunned. At a time when the league is reportedly losing around $50 million each year and fighting to stay afloat, Cathy Engelbert was seen dancing and having fun at a party rather than focusing on the serious challenges facing the organization. This controversy has only added fuel to the fire. What's your take on a sports commissioner celebrating with players while the league is struggling financially? Share your opinions in the comments below.
Competitor of the WNBA, another professional women's basketball league, took over All-Star Weekend. That's right. I wonder how Cathy Engelbert feels about this. Let's check in on her and ask. Oh, I'm sorry, you're unavailable because you're too busy dancing at some frickin' party?
Once again, we're talking about what many consider the least serious pro sports league in the US. The WNBA just finished its All-Star Weekend, but instead of keeping the focus on the game or tackling the issue of the league's reported $50 million annual losses, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert apparently chose to showcase her TikTok moves.
You guys are amazing. Oh, yeah. What? No, Cathy. Hey. What? Hey. Hey. Look at Cathy. Cathy started.
The clip blew up online almost instantly. There was Engelbert, the commissioner of a professional basketball league, dancing to Knuck If You Buck, alongside Minnesota Lynx players Courtney Williams and Natisha Heedman during the All-Star Weekend stream. And this wasn't just a quick wave or a simple gesture. She was seriously breaking out dance moves like she was shooting a music video instead of managing a struggling sports organization. To give some perspective, the WNBA is reportedly losing between $40 to $50 million every single season. That's not pocket change. It's the kind of money that could finance entire school systems. Even more staggering, this is the league's 26th consecutive year without turning a profit. Think about that. Most businesses wouldn't even survive 2 years under those kinds of financial losses.
And that's still the case, even with record levels of interest in the sport due entirely and solely to Caitlin Clark. Still, the league loses money by the truckload. It lost $50 million last year.
The league reportedly lost around $50 million just last year, and yet, here's where things get almost comical. While the organization is bleeding money faster than water from a burst hydrant, Commissioner Engelbert is out dancing as if she just landed a historic sports deal. Sure, some people on social media found the video fun or wholesome, but others were far less forgiving. One comment summed it up bluntly: the W is so unserious, especially in the middle of CBA negotiations. And they're not wrong about the timing. The players' union recently opted out of the current collective bargaining agreement and is pushing for major changes, like a much bigger cut of league revenue. For comparison, NBA players earn about 50% of basketball-related income, while WNBA players get just 9.3%. So, on one hand, players are demanding bigger paychecks from a league that's not profitable, and on the other, the commissioner is dancing with them. It's like watching the captain of the Titanic organize a dance-off while the ship is sinking.
It was last night, and the only reason that some people knew, it's not because they watched, it's not because they tuned in and actually watched the game. It's because they went viral yesterday for the message that they decided to send to everybody. A league that has been around for, 30 years at this point? A league that has never, ever turned a profit. A league that has lost the NBA, who subsidizes them, hundreds of millions of dollars over the years. They decided to send a message to everybody. And this is the shirt that they all decided to wear to show their unity and ask for more money. breaking down WNBA players' CBA demand after All-Star Game shirts go viral.
But it doesn't stop there. While Engelbert was busy showing off her dance moves, another women's basketball league practically stole the spotlight at her own event. Unrivaled Basketball, the 3-on-3 league launched by WNBA stars Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, set up Camp Right in Indianapolis during All-Star Weekend. They hosted interactive events, player meet and greets, and merch drops, all while recruiting top young talent. Think about it, a rival league showed up during the WNBA's biggest weekend of the year and walked away with 14 top college players under no contracts, including future stars like Lauren Betts, UCLA, Azzi Fudd, UConn, and Olivia Miles, TCU. These are the next generation of women's basketball icons, and Unrivaled is scooping them up. While the WNBA commissioner is busy learning TikTok dances, the optics are a disaster. Behind closed doors, WNBA owners are probably stressing over how to stop the financial bleeding, while their commissioner is trending on social media for reasons that have nothing to do with saving the league. Even NBA owners, who own stakes in several WNBA teams, are getting restless, waiting for some sort of return on investment. Speaking of the NBA, Adam Silver's name inevitably comes up. Former WNBA star Candace Parker recently praised Silver for his leadership, particularly for how he keeps open communication with superstars like LeBron James and Chris Paul when league changes are on the table. One fan online even joked, "Adam Silver better step it up after seeing Engelbert's dance performance." Now imagine this scenario. The NBA is losing $50 million annually. Players are threatening to strike during CBA talks. A rival league is poaching talent during All-Star Weekend. And Adam Silver's big response is to breakdance with James Harden and Steph Curry. He'd be out of a job before the music stopped. But somehow, the WNBA plays by different rules. Remember, the NBA owns about 60% of the WNBA, and when you factor in individual NBA owner stakes, that number jumps closer to 75%. In other words, Adam Silver is technically Engelbert's boss, and the NBA is covering the league's financial losses year after year. Here's the kicker. The WNBA was expected to lose $50 million last season, but only lost $40 million, which is considered progress. Meanwhile, Unrivaled is making the WNBA look like amateurs. Their average salary is $220,000, nearly the same as the WNBA's max base salary. They offer players luxury apartments in Miami, world-class facilities, and professional treatment across the board. When Paige Bucher signed with Unrivaled, her first-year paycheck reportedly surpassed what she'd earned during her entire 4-year rookie contract in the WNBA. So let's break this down. A competitor is offering better pay, better living conditions, and is actively recruiting the brightest young stars during the WNBA's own All-Star Weekend. And the commissioner's reaction. Let's dance it off. It's hard to take that seriously. Some fans even accused Engelbert of trying to distract players from ongoing CBA negotiations, with one comment reading, "She's trying to make us forget the real issues." She's not fooling anyone. Now, to be fair, the WNBA had its best year ever in 2024. Much of the credit goes to Caitlin Clark's explosive popularity and her rivalry with Angel Reese. Regular season games averaged 1.2 million viewers, a massive 170% jump from the previous year, and the All-Star Game drew 3.4 million viewers. Social media engagement hit a record-breaking 2 billion views, merchandise sales skyrocketed 600%, and sponsor revenue reached new highs. And yet, even with all those historic numbers, the league still couldn't make a profit. Let that sink in. Their most successful season ever still ended with tens of millions in losses. Instead of tackling these deep financial problems, the commissioner is going viral for a dance routine. To top it all off, players spent All-Star Weekend wearing warm-up shirts reading, "Pay us what you owe us," demanding better compensation. Fans weren't exactly sympathetic. One viral comment summed it up harshly. The WNBA loses $50 million a year and has never turned a profit. You're owed nothing. While players deserve fair pay, the optics of demanding more money from a league that's still financially underwater just don't sit well with many people.
I mean, she really should be getting paid many millions of dollars. not because I'm interested in watching, but just because the fact that she's been able to generate any interest in the WNBA is you could argue it's one of the most impressive feats in human history. I honestly didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible that anyone could generate even the slightest interest in the WNBA, and she's generated a little bit. And so I think that is really moving a mountain. So they should pay her, exorbitant sums, but for all the rest of them, it should be like Caitlin Clark is paid whatever, I don't know, $20 million a year, and the rest of them should be paid. Really what it should be is that all the other WNBA players are paying Caitlin Clark.
The Caitlin Clark factor makes this situation even more baffling. Clark is unquestionably the biggest star in the league, yet when she's sidelined with injuries, WNBA viewership drops by nearly 50%. Think about that. This is a second-year player who's essentially carrying the league's popularity on her shoulders, all while earning a base salary of around $76,000. Meanwhile, Commissioner Engelbert acts like everything is perfectly fine. Clark embodies exactly what the WNBA should be building around: elite talent, massive fan appeal, and the ability to draw entirely new audiences to women's basketball. Instead of leveraging this momentum to build a sustainable future, the league continues operating as if it's stuck in the late 90s. The contrast with Adam Silver's NBA is honestly embarrassing. When Silver became commissioner, he faced his own set of challenges, but he approached them with a long-term vision, prioritizing player relationships and making bold business moves. His strategy paid off. The NBA just inked an 11-year, multi-billion-dollar TV deal. Engelbert, by comparison, seems more focused on trending moments and social media than any meaningful business strategy. One fan summed up the frustration perfectly. "I'd dance too if the NBA was paying to keep my league afloat every year." And while harsh, it's not wrong. The rise of unrivaled basketball should have been a wake-up call. When your own athletes, like Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, are founding rival leagues and signing top college prospects during your All-Star weekend, it's not just competition, it's a glaring indictment of leadership. Unrivaled has already raised over $35 million, pays its players salaries comparable to or better than the WNBA, and treats them like true professionals. Meanwhile, the WNBA is still trying to figure out how to break even after nearly 30 years. That dance video? It's become the perfect metaphor for the league's lack of seriousness. While other sports commissioners are focused on revenue growth, competitive balance, and long-term sustainability, Engelbert seems more worried about going viral. Even some WNBA players, like Sata Sabali, have openly criticized Engelbert's leadership, citing issues like poor scheduling and the league's failure to put players first. When your own athletes are calling you out publicly, that's usually a sign that big changes are overdue. What's so frustrating is that the WNBA is actually in the best position it's ever been to succeed. Mainstream media is finally embracing women's sports. Stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are household names, and TV ratings are at record highs. This could, and should, be their breakout era. Instead, what do we see? Financial losses that rival those of a struggling startup, players demanding raises from a league that's never been profitable, and leadership that's more concerned with TikTok moments than building a sustainable business. Look at other sports organizations that faced rough beginnings. When the UFC was on life support, Dana White didn't throw dance parties. He focused on building stars and creating compelling narratives. When MLS was struggling in its early years, they made hard decisions, tightened operations, and pushed for profitability. The WNBA, on the other hand, has been in perpetual crisis mode for 26 years, and the solution seems to be better choreography. At this point, it's shocking that Adam Silver hasn't stepped in to make sweeping changes.